think my first general relief check, and then flipped it, got enough money, looked in the like an auto trader, and found the engineer who had an RV. Called him, ended up Jay driving up there, man. Ended up us being both engineers, and he ended up giving me the RV.
Really?
So my best friend, rest in peace, Roland, we drive all the way up to Malibu, we get the RV, we bring it back, and then we set the RV downtown in a parking lot, and they do high rise in the parking lot now. So we built so we dropped the RV there, and then that's where I lived.
For how long?
For before I lived there, Jay, you know where we dropped the RV? It's an area that was taken over as eminent domain by the city, by the LAX airport. The reason I knew about it because I was one of the first companies to put wireless networks inside the airport for a company called Western State Maintenance and Engineering. So they were in the process of doing expansion, and they took over quite a few apartment buildings and houses in this one area behind the airport. So they ran out of money, so it became froze. So I knew about all those properties. So it was basically houses that were abandoned. So we dropped it over there behind one of their nice abandoned houses, and that's where I stayed for about 3 months, man. And then after that, it was a couple other homeless and guys started coming by. So I was like, man, I gotta get out. So I started looking around for places where I could just drop it for cheap. So I found a lot down there. So that's why I parked it, and then it was a lot nicer. And I could feel comfortable bringing my kid by. So that's what I did. And then I stayed down there for maybe until that next incident happened. So what happened was...
Oh, the next incident being...
them locking me up for the basically 42 years of life.
Okay.
And what happened was, basically, they would follow me. They knew my path. It wasn't too hard to find. So they followed me from my RV to the bus stop. I caught the bus stop to the Metro Rail. 2 stops, and I would get off on Hawthorne Boulevard and catch it to either the job agency or going to my job assignment. So this one specific night, so what I did, I left the RV, went down to a bus stop, and it was, I thinking back, now I see it. But there was a person sitting there, and just sort of like started a conversation. So I'm talking, and they didn't want me to leave, and the bus never came up. No, I gotta go, right? That was a point person or an informant, whoever. So I walked down the hill all the way over a freeway, which is 110 freeway downtown, down to catch the blue line, which I caught to the green line, and I caught it to the Hawthorne Boulevard, and I caught the bus from there down to my transfer point, which would have been South Bay Galleria. So clearly visible, and you know there's got to be thousands of cameras, as well as the security invaders on the cameras, RTD, and then I transferred to a Torrance municipal bus, and that was my path. My job was from this temporary agency to go and stock, which was what I was doing for all the retail stores during the holiday period. We just finished Halloween, so you know how they change all the displays on the end counters. So I think we would change over to Christmas. So the agency ended up liking me. So it was the only place, Jay, that I could find work. You feel me? Dealing now, I'm a felon, overqualified, can't go to work for Fuse Network Systems or FTA. any communications company, anybody in my normal profession. So I had to resort to temporary, and the only place I could find was labor ready, minimum wage. So I worked 2 full-time jobs to survive. Okay, I wake up before sun up, I leave out, go to labor ready, get down there by 6 o'clock, get my assignment or wait around for an hour and a half, 2 hours, take my assignment, go out, work the 8 hours, come back, hang around and wait for the second assignment and go out again. It was starting to work. It was starting to work so much to where I was starting to accumulate a few $1,000 and had saved up. Being homeless in RV, they had to be monitoring not only that, but my finances. And I guess they didn't really like the fact that I was starting to make this work.
Yeah.
So they followed me. And I could feel myself being followed, but you could never see them, man.
Yeah.
It was like you see them or I know they were there. So this one day, that's what I did. I had a gig to go to Hickory Farm. So I left the RV. It was at night. Went down. This day I only had one gig, so I called in and had the assignment and verified. I said, okay, no problem. I went down early, got my time card, so they already knew my assignment that night and the time I was supposed to be there. So I left the RV, hopped on metro, got on the last bus, which was Torrance bus. It's an African American driver. Still can remember the scene right now. Got on the bus, went down a few stops, got off at the Del Amo Mall. At the stoplight, crossed over from the west side over to the east side, walked straight. I think I made a right after I got over to the side. No, I kept walking straight. Right when I got over straight, it was a parking lot. It just happened to be African American lady driving into the parking lot and getting out of her car at about the same time. So as I'm walking by, she's getting out walking, and we begin to walk to the mall. We're walking exactly at the same time. We didn't speak, but we acknowledged each other. Never seen her before in my life. So keep in mind, I got this time card. I hadn't been at Del Amo Mall before to work, right? And I hadn't been there any longer. So I stopped at a Starbucks, right? But I walked by, and thinking back, I walked by it's a barbecue place, restaurant. So I make a right, walk down, go into the Starbucks. Keep in mind, the lady's still there. She keeps going into the mall when I go in the Starbucks. I asked them, okay, how do I get to, where's Hickory Farm? So they told me, I said, is there any place I can get some matches around here? Like, we don't have any matches, because I want to smoke a cigarette and have it. Okay, you need to go. I was like, okay, cool. So, went and got some matches, walk through the mall, go up the escalator and walk through May Company. Right? When I go through May Company, I can feel myself being followed. So I look around, I see a security guard. So, okay, cool. Not really. No, I didn't do anything. I just got off this bus, right? So I keep walking. By the time I get out of May Company, this one coming this way, it's about 2 or 3 behind me. Okay. So I keep going and I'm about to ask him, hey, where's Hickory Farm? I'm like, hey, talk to me? Yeah. Like, can you come on? I'm like, for what? He's like, we need to talk to him. Talk to me for what? It's like, well, it's an incident that occurred earlier. I'm like, what incident just occurred earlier? I just got off that bus across the street. You can check your cameras. I'm quite sure you guys got cameras. I'm a satellite communication specialist, highly trained in security surveillance. I know you got cameras. Go back about what incident just happened. I like, just be cool, calm, wait till these guys get down here. I'm like, man, I'm supposed to report. So then I go in, I got a bag, I got my uniform, I got lunch and the time card. So I'm supposed to go to Hickory Farm report, so I'm on the way. It's like, well, just why don't you come? So I wait. Now I'm getting upset. I'm like, well, can you guys call people points and let them know what's going on? Because now I'm late. I'm like, no, just wait here. I'm like, wait, am I under arrest or something? No, you know, I'm like, well, you know what? Now I'm starting to feel like I'm under arrest. I'm gonna leave, man. You know, I'm gonna leave. So I just got ready to walk down the escalator, walk back toward the escalator. By the time I got down the escalator, man, it's 2 Torrance patrol cars there. But guess what, Jay? When I go down the escalator, guess who's coming down behind me?
Liberal from.
The lady who was put into the park. She's not a girl. The lady, she's like about 50 something.
Oh, okay.
60 something. She wasn't retired. She's a well-statured lady. So, and I don't know who she was, but she was somebody. So later on, we go, and then I get down to the bottom of the escalator, and she over here, and she stops. So then the cops approached me, like they were laying in wait the whole time. And I looked back off in the corner, it was like undercover cars, it was other cars parked back in the back. And I saw them, but it was 2 patrol cars that stay here. So then they ended up, they held me there, and the lady said, you know what? I don't know what you guys are holding him here for, but whatever it is, it's not whatever you guys are thinking. I personally saw this guy get off the bus and walk across the street into this mall with me. So whatever you guys saying he did, he didn't do. They tried to threaten. And the worst part about it was an African American, real light-skinned guy who was trying to just like show. And then later on, the dude pulled me aside after he threatened. He told the lady, he said, you know what, you need to get out of here. He said, if you don't leave, we're gonna arrest you. She said, well, you're gonna arrest me for what? It's like, well, we're gonna arrest you. She said, well, what are you gonna arrest me for? She said, well, we're gonna arrest you for interfering with the investigation. She said, you know what, I'll tell you what. She said, what department are you guys from? She said, we're from Gardner. She said, I tell you what, by the time you guys get him, you guys take him to the police station, by the time you guys get to the station, there will be a complaint form and file. And then she walked away. So then I think they got a little nervous, and they started checking. And however they tried to, you know, if they said, if I was supposedly have been doing something or alleged there, right? Why wouldn't you put that on the charges? When you took me to jail, that never came up. No charges relating to the mall incident, no nothing.
Really?
So basically what they did was they staged a farce or whatever to allow Torrance Police Department to come and pick me up specifically for reintroduce me back into the system to put me under harsher regulations which have been applied. So basically, Jay, the long story short, they never charged me with violating any crimes or anything that supposedly would have transpired at the mall or whatever they led. What they tried to say was 2 individuals, 2 young ladies from the mall, I had been chasing them at the mall. When I ended up fighting the case, I subpoenaed everything. I don't know what happened, but those individuals never showed up. The names were never revealed to me. I subpoenaed all the security and surveillance camera stuff was never produced. They dropped all the charges. 42 years is a lot. They dropped all the charges. But guess what? Remember the African American judge who didn't believe I was an engineer? He said, you know what?
Same judge.
I'm gonna drop the case, but you're still going to prison because you violated your conditions of your parole. And I was not under parole or probation. No, she said you violated your conditions of probation. I said, what conditions? She said, you were supposed to register. I said, no, I was not. And I even presented paperwork signed by the district attorney as well as testimony by my parole agent stating specifically that they clarified with the Department of Justice, and that judge still sent me to state penitentiary.
For how long?
3 years.
Wow.
Excuse me, I gotta take a leave.
Okay.